The royal palace, with its white walls sparkling under the sunlight, is a symbol of power and grandeur. Everything here is meticulously maintained, from the lush green grass to every minute detail in its design. Outside the palace gates, tourists from all over gather, standing to admire and take pictures of the royal guards in their elegant uniforms, tall hats, and pristine outfits. The palace, with its magnificent beauty, seems to never be disturbed by events beyond its control. Wiliam Holt stands firm in his position, becoming part of the scenery. He is used to the curious stares of tourists and the whispers about the seriousness of a royal guard's work. But today, something feels different. He senses an indescribable tension in the air. A sense of unease, inexplicable and heavy, has settled in his mind. Wiliam glances into the distance, over the palace fence, and notices a group of men in athletic gear, rough-looking, gathering near an elderly man. This man is no ordinary person, Wiliam realizes immediately. The shiny medals on his coat tell a long story of years spent fighting in war, years of sacrifice that now seem to be disrespected by these young men. Wiliam feels a restlessness rising in his chest. For the first time in his career as a royal guard, he feels like he can do something other than stand still. A strong urge rises in his mind. This is a situation he cannot ignore. He was taught to only intervene when there's a national security threat, but facing the injustice and mockery toward an old veteran, Wiliam knows he cannot stand still. His conscience urges him to act. This feeling, this strong call to action, comes not only from the duty of a soldier, but also from the respect for those who sacrifice to protect the country. Wiliam cannot ignore the clear disrespect shown to the elderly man. One of the largest young men in the group steps toward the elderly man and says mockingly, "Watch your step, Grandpa." Wiliam can no longer stand idly by. This is the moment when he knows he must act. All eyes turn toward him. Tourists, his fellow guards, and passers-by are watching. Wiliam's action is not merely intervening in a conflict, but a decision that will change everything. "Wiliam, let him pass." "Leader of the thugs, are you talking to us, guard?" "Wiliam, calm but resolute. I'm asking you to stop and let him pass." Wiliam senses the tension in the air, as if a battle of wits is taking place. He knows he is standing on a fine line between following protocol and doing what is right. Every word he speaks, every step he takes, is calculated carefully, but it's undeniable that in his heart, there is a strong sense of responsibility and courage. He is not just a royal guard. He is a protector of dignity and the rights of the vulnerable. The thugs did not expect a royal guard to act in such a way. They begin to show signs of defiance, eyeing Wiliam with disdain. But he does not falter. Despite a slight anxiety in his chest, Wiliam holds his ground. He has decided to protect the vulnerable, and nothing will make him back down. The leader of the group steps forward and attacks Wiliam. The anger and tension reach a breaking point. Wiliam can wait no longer. He swiftly grabs the thug's hand, spins him around, and restrains him. Wiliam's confidence and combat skills are not only displayed in how he moves but also in his calm mind. He is not fighting for revenge, but for protection. Another thug in the group approaches from behind, aiming to attack Wiliam. But Wiliam skillfully spins and blocks the punch, pushing the thug away. Every move Wiliam makes is a combination of precision and strength, showing that he is not just a guard, but a true fighter. The thugs, initially full of confidence, begin to feel their vulnerability. Fear overtakes them. Wiliam does not feel satisfaction from the victory, only concern for protecting the elderly man and ensuring his own safety. This confrontation is not about proving strength, but about fulfilling. As the confrontation unfolds, several tourists nearby stop to watch. Some pull out their phones to record the event, while others stand still, unsure of what to do. Wiliam notices that all eyes are on him, and in a brief moment, he realizes that his actions will not only affect him, but will also shape the public perception of the duty of a royal guard. Tourist 1. I've never seen a guard leave his post like that. Tourist 2. He's really protecting that old man? Incredible. Wiliam's intervention is not just an act of protection, but also a lesson in courage and respect for those who have sacrificed for the country. He is not just protecting an individual. He is safeguarding the values of fairness and human dignity in society. When the confrontation takes place, not only tourists but also local residents stop and watch. They stand from a distance, but their eyes are all focused on William and the thugs facing off. Some are amazed, while others begin to whisper, discussing what is happening. Although this is a small conflict, for the observers, it is the first time they've seen a royal guard step away from his post to intervene directly in a situation beyond his assigned duty. The seriousness of the job and the rules in the military are always respected, but today, the rules have been broken. William notices the eyes of those watching, many of them recording the moment on their phones. Some in the crowd are surprised, some clap in admiration, while others look on with uncertain gazes. His actions have broken the silence of the palace, and those observing cannot help but feel there's something special about this intervention. Could he be someone willing to stand up and break the rules to protect justice? Tourist 1. I've never seen a guard leave his post like that. It seems like he's working for a bigger reason than just following the rules. Tourist 2. Is he really protecting that old man? Incredible. I didn't think a royal guard could do that. Tourist 3. Maybe his actions were necessary. I don't think this soldier could just ignore the harassment from those thugs. William's intervention is not just a personal act of protection. It becomes a symbol of courage. He stands up for a value that transcends military rules, protecting dignity and respect for those who have sacrificed for the country. This makes the onlookers more aware that sometimes, the rules are not everything. Courage and duty are the most important elements in protecting fairness and human dignity. After the confrontation ends, William senses the looks from his colleagues and superiors. Although he has protected the elderly man, he knows that leaving his post without official orders might lead to punishment. He does not regret his decision, but as he returns to his position, anxiety begins to rise. Will he be disciplined for his actions? Will his superiors understand the true reason behind it? A few hours after the incident, William is summoned to meet with his leader, Captain Quinn. She is very strict with rules and suspicious of actions that go beyond orders. William knows this meeting will not be easy. He enters Captain Quinn's office with a tense mind, reminding himself that he cannot back down. Captain Quinn, looking at William with a stern gaze, William, you know leaving your post without orders is a violation of protocol, right? William, with sincerity and resolve, ma'am, I couldn't stand by while an elderly man was being harassed. I believe my actions were necessary to protect an innocent person. William feels a sudden tension, as if every word he speaks could decide his future. He does not want to face punishment, but if he does, he will have to answer for his intervention. However, in his heart, William has no regrets. He knows he did the right thing. He stood up for a cause bigger than the rules, protecting the vulnerable and defending human dignity. Even though he worries about possible punishments, William reassures himself that if he did not act, he would live with guilt. And the truth is, doing what is right is not always easy, but if he didn't, his conscience would never be at peace. The next day, William continues his patrol around the palace area, but in his heart, he still feels uneasy. He senses that the threat hasn't been fully eliminated. Though the confrontation with the thugs ended, William feels that the danger is not over. He cannot shake the feeling that they will return. Especially after seeing the determination in his own actions, he knows they won't stop. After his patrol, William decides to check in on Lucas, the elderly man he had protected before. He wants to make sure Lucas is still safe and not being harassed by the thugs. William, hello, mister. Lucas, are you all right? Lucas, I'm fine, William. Thanks again. But I can't deny I still feel unsafe. Those men haven't let me go. Lucas feels the threat the thugs pose. Despite having been through many battles, past conflicts, he still cannot escape the unease. His heart aches seeing the medals he received for his service in the war disrespected like this. In his eyes, these medals are symbols of sacrifice, of battles he fought, not to be mocked. William looks into Lucas's face and realizes that Lucas isn't just worried about himself, but also about those around him. He doesn't want to see anyone else face the violence he had gone through in the past. William decides that, even if it means leaving his post again, he will protect Lucas until this threat is extinguished. One evening, while William is resting after his training, he receives an urgent call from Lucas. His voice is tense. Lucas, William, they're here again. Near my building, I hear footsteps and someone is lurking. William, calm but firm, stay where you are. I'll be there right away. William quickly drives to Lucas's building. He feels a rising sense of worry but cannot let fear control him. The image of the thugs from the previous day still lingers in his mind. He cannot allow Lucas to face danger again. When he arrives, William finds Lucas standing outside his apartment door, cane in hand, eyes scanning the surroundings. From a dark corner, William spots two of the thugs from before. They haven't seen him approach, but when they turn and spot him, the tension becomes palpable. One thug lunges at William, swinging his fist, but William quickly reacts, grabbing the thug's wrist and pushing him away. Another thug tries to flee, but Lucas, despite his age, refuses to back down. He uses his cane to block the man's escape. This confrontation is not just a physical fight, but a mental battle. William isn't just protecting a vulnerable person. He is defending the values of respect and honor. Every blow William delivers is not meant to cause harm, but to assert that evil will not triumph over righteousness. Even though William had already faced the thugs once and successfully protected Lucas, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease about a potential reemergence of the threat. Although the thugs had been defeated, William sensed they would return. This feeling didn't just come from worry, but from an instinct he had honed during his military training, an instinct to recognize true danger. A few days later, while William is patrolling near the palace, he receives another urgent call from Lucas. His voice is low and tense. "Lucas, William, they are here again. I've seen unfamiliar faces hanging around my apartment building. They're not from around here." William, calm but determined, stay in place. "I'll come immediately." William rushes to Lucas's building, his worry growing with each passing moment. When he arrives, he finds Lucas standing outside his apartment, cane tightly gripped, his eyes full of vigilance. William moves toward him cautiously, knowing this moment calls for decisive action. As William approaches, he spots three men lingering near Lucas's building entrance. They aren't just standing there idly. They appear to be observing their surroundings. One of them moves closer to Lucas. Upon noticing William, he immediately becomes hostile and charges at him. Thug 1. "Who do you think you are? Just a royal guard? What can you do?" William, in a cold voice, "I'm the one protecting justice, and I won't let you harm him." This is no longer a simple conflict. For William, it's a fight to protect the values he was trained to uphold. It's not just about military protocol, it's about safeguarding the vulnerable. Every move he makes is calculated, precise, and executed with certainty. The first thug is quickly taken down by William. The second tries to stab from behind, but William turns and strikes him in the chest. Both remaining thugs realize they can't defeat a royal guard trained to handle such dangers. Despite his age, Lucas isn't afraid. As William faces off with the third thug, Lucas, with the resolve of someone who has endured many battles, swings his cane at the man from behind. Lucas isn't just protecting himself, but helping William fend off the lurking danger. "Lucas," in a strong voice, "you think I'll let you do anything to me? I've been through far too many battles to be scared now." William feels the strength in Lucas's words. He is not just protecting the vulnerable. He is standing alongside a man who has fought through life's toughest battles. This situation is no longer just about physical strength. It's a battle between righteousness and injustice. Lucas's bravery gives William the motivation to fight even harder. Finally, the thugs realize they are outmatched and begin to retreat, leaving the area in chaos. Although William wins, he knows that these thugs could return at any moment. But this time, he has done what's right, and pride swells in him. After the confrontation ends, Lucas and William return to the palace. While everyone around them discusses William's brave intervention, he quietly returns to his duties. The wounds from the battle haven't fully healed, but in his heart, William feels peace. He knows he did the right thing, and there is nothing that can make him regret his decision. The next day, William is called to meet Captain Quinn. She looks at him seriously, but there is no longer the same criticism. "Captain Quinn, William, I've reviewed the situation and heard about what happened. Yes, you broke protocol, but I understand your reasons. Sometimes, doing what's right doesn't always follow strict rules. Thank you for acting accordingly." William can't hide the relief when he hears these words. He knows he hasn't just protected an elderly man. He's also protected the values he was taught when joining the military: courage, fairness, and respect for those who have sacrificed. Courage isn't always demonstrated through grand victories, but sometimes through small but meaningful actions. William realizes that self-respect and responsibility toward the vulnerable are what truly define a soldier. And Lucas, despite his age, remains a symbol of resilience and self-respect that will never be forgotten. The story of William and Lucas clearly shows that doing what's right isn't about blindly following rules, but about standing for justice, courage, and respect for humanity. William learned that doing what is right isn't always easy, but it is the only path that allows him to live with integrity without regret. And with Lucas, he witnessed a man who had endured many hardships but never lost his dignity or his resolve to stand for the truth.